after what feels like 24 hours of practice, I think we're ready for the final boss of this dungeon. So before we get to that, greetings ladies and gentlemen, Smiling4 here, and welcome back to Battle Chasers Nightwar. As in our last session, we continued on here in Strongmont, weeding out the little witches that remain in the dungeon, and eventually getting ourselves to, well, like I said, the final boss of the dungeon. Which, sure enough, was an utter pain to actually deal with. Such a pain that we are now here today to finish him off, and I finally got a strategy ready for him. But, of course, if you haven't seen the previous videos already, and you desperately need to see them so you get context, go check them out in the description playlist down below. There you go. Well, that said, today we're defeating the final boss once and for all. I pray. But not before we explain a few things. Because of course, along with a little practicing, I did a little bit of extra grinding. And that grinding is really saving my ass here. For one reason and one reason only. Now, when it came down to leveling these three, they only got one level up, as you can tell, but it is a worthwhile level up. As, here's the thing. Calibretto here. First things first, not skills, nope, back. Equipment. Combat abilities, here we go. First things first, Calibretto's learned Reincarnate. Revive an ally with 40% health and heal them for 33% of their max health over 3 turns. Heavenly. Incredibly heavenly. As now, we have two characters that can do auto revives without freaking items. And that's gonna be a godsend in the latter. Speaking of which, Almond also has that sort of ability with the Avatar of Darkness. Revive an ally with 65% of their maximum health, but they will also be granted a 20% attack power buff for 2 actions, after which they will suffer 50% of their maximum health in damage. Not sure how I feel about that. Okay, I see. So they get revived for 65% of their maximum health, but they'll lose half of that health immediately. Unless they get killed off immediately, in which case, there you go. So yeah, it's a little interesting when you think about it. 2 more characters that can do a revive, but being honest, that's not the real reason why I care about this whole level up thing. No, there's one ability that tastes the cake. Gully has learned the Gravity Punch. Now, you Final Fantasy fans out there, you may be familiar with what Gravity was. It was a magic spell of dark magic that basically took out entire characters, or not entire characters, but a fourth of a character's HP bar. Now, Gravity Punch is of a similar effect, but instead, you deal 5% of the enemy's remaining HP, plus 429 damage on top of that. So say you got an enemy that has, well, to make things simpler, they have about, what's a good example? They have 100 health. Yeah, it's a very weak enemy, but they have that much. By doing the Gravity Punch, they will not only lose about what would be 5 health, but an additional 429 on top of that, which equates to 434. Yeah, doesn't sound that much. But then go to say maybe 10,000, they'll lose 500 health from there, in addition to the 429 here, which is roughly 1,000 damage. So in reality, this can be very helpful, especially when we're taking on frickin' Bhargus, who loves to summon allies while we need to whittle down his HP. But yeah, this ability will be a lifesaver for this fight. So, be ready to use it, without a doubt. Besides that, nothing else has really changed. You know, if you guys need a reminder, let's go over to the perks here. Here's essentially what the guys have as to what I equipped them with for the preparation of this fight. Nothing really serious, just something that can do favors. But on the plus side, these guys now finally have all their little, possible perks. So now it's just a matter of getting perk points, which will save me so much time when it comes to explaining things. Oh, here, looks like you guys didn't even check these out. Did I get these also when I was doing grinding, or am I just missing something? Either way, let's see here. So we got Shifting Tides, that attack increases power of the next heal by 40%. Wait, what? Wait, attacking increases power of the next heal by 40%? Isn't that kind of backwards or something? There's cannon shot. The the ignite portion of cannon shot from 356 to 2. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Oh, that sounds heavenly. Okay. That's gonna be painful. I'd have to get rid of something here. Nah, you know, we'll be fine without it. We'll be fine. Anyway, you guys won't be able to see it anyway, based on how I'm gonna be doing this episode here. So we also got Enervating Mist 2. Ooh, that could be helpful. Impatient Mending increases the power of heal over time effects by 40%. Jeez, I need to use all those tomes that I've got. That could be very helpful in the future, apparently. Then Gully's got Gravity Punch 2. Deals an additional 7% of remaining HP and damage. That could be very helpful, actually. In fact, let's see. Initiative, Haste, Avenger, Overcharge, cures himself with damage shield. Yeah, for 10 overcharge is used. That doesn't really happen, though. Let's be honest. It's probably not going to happen too often, and I probably won't be taking advantage of that. If anything, I'd be using Revise. So get rid of that. And Gravity Punch will be dealing even more damage. And then Backlash, getting hit will now deal 12 damage to attackers each hit. That's very helpful. Guard 2. Guard will reduce damage taken by an additional 15% for each hero. And Empowered Shields. Increases the power of damage shields by 40%. And then finally, looks like Almon's got Devastation 2. Taunts while casting and deals additional damage equal to 50% of damage taken while casting. Could be interesting. Grim Covenant 2 doubles the amount of mana gained from Grim Covenant from 20% of max mana to 40% of max mana. That makes the HP take much more worthwhile. Sacred Embrace 2. Sacred Embrace will now heal each hero for an additional 165 health. Meh. And Blood Boil 2 will now deal an additional 309 magic damage on a crit. Okay. So I don't even remember grabbing any of these, but they are actually pretty helpful. I mean, heck, Gully's thing just went from 5% to freaking, what is it, 12% now? This is gonna be so much fun! I think we've got this. And thus my strategy is gonna become much easier. But yeah, now it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to get into the fight itself. Now, I'm gonna tell you this now. The way I've got things planned is, you know, I think I've done this in a few other episodes of different series, but basically the way I'm gonna be doing this is, for this episode in particular, because you saw how long the last fight it took. That was like about 2 parts just for getting to the end, and even then we failed. What I'm going to be doing is I'll be showing the basic strategy that I have in mind for fighting this guy. Once I've done that, then I'll do a little fast forward until we get to the very end of the fight. Save you guys some time. You know, I'll throw in that good old-fashioned chaos control for once in an actual main story episode. So that way you guys don't have to endure the entire fight for God knows how long. Because, let's be real, that'd be very boring. But yeah, that's really about it. I'll show you guys how I do things to make things a little easier for yourselves, and then we'll just get to the end of the fight, and things will be good from there. Sounds good? Sounds good to me. Anyway, let's get into the fight itself. So you guys need a reminder of what we're going up against. Let's go over here. We did! The shields are down! We may be too late. Something is still coming through. We cannot back down now. You may not have a choice. Look! The Master will see you now.
Interlopers! You've killed my underlings, but Bhargus shall still rise. Bhargus shall bring fire to the world!
Hope you guys have a plan for this.
We never have a plan.
I thought exactly!
Pathetic wretch! Why does my body wither? The ritual. It was interrupted by this mortal Destroy will. Destroy is insignificant. I will burn the world to ash. Beginning with you.
Dun dun dun! And now it's time for the main course fight. Let's do this! Bhargus! You will fall in combat! And once things load, maybe I can actually get to talking. Alright, so we got our automatic haste up, and we're fighting the head of Bhargus the Defiler. With 8,000 HP, roughly, and that's pretty much all I gotta say about it. Now here's how I did this. based on what I remember, first things first, do I want to use enemy? Actually, I probably don't. Yeah, let's go for that instead. So starting off with a gravity punch, of course now is from 5% to 12%, so much more powerful. In addition, I recommend throwing on an intervening miss with Calibretto, as is. You probably expect that. And then, was it either that or, okay, no, it was this. And then throw on a devastation with Alamon. Now the thing is, you don't want to waste all of your mana, because keep in mind, when you run out of mana, you're pretty much just spamming the main action button until you actually get enough overcharge. But with Innervating Mist, this will keep things at least very somewhat steady. But anyway, so after we've done that, let's see here. So I don't want to do that. Yeah, I want to go for Obliterate then. Just a right straight up attack. Deal some extra damage. There we go. Basically the way this works is, so after you're done one gravity punch, then I'm going to do a heroism little trick. Place a damage shield on all eyes that absorbs 405 damage on each. So keep in mind, with the rise my minion is casting spell, the enemy will quite literally explode and summon allies. So you'll want to keep yourself somewhat protected. And once that happens, or before the attack is about to be cast, use your defense matrix here with Calibretto. And then once Almon comes up, we'll do a Shadow Wall. This way they can get an extra damage protection, at least. Gully won't be as lucky, but she's got a little more health now, thanks to items I equipped. I probably should have shown that off too, huh? Oh well. But now it's time for the minion phase, and this is pretty straightforward. Go for the enemy that's giving you the biggest pain. In this case, I'd probably recommend going for the... Or actually, I probably... Well, either go, in this case, for the Risen Archer or the Fire Mage, depending on how much damage you can deal as quickly as possible. Because the thing is, on one hand, this guy has less HP, and therefore will be easier to get rid of, and thus less damage actually accrued. But this guy has also Fire Ignition Tactics, which can be very painful. So, really just pick your poison and hope for the best. I think I'll go for an immediate Cannon Blast on the Mage here. And in addition, we'll use Gravity Punch here too. Then Alma can do a Soul Shard Strike right now. Alright. There's Gravity. What to do? Ow! Mother! Cannon Blast! Yes! Perfecto! Okay. And then, personally, I would recommend using the Calibretto as your main healer, but in a case if you need to, you can use Almon with a Sanguine Embrace to kind of save the day a little bit. But only if you really need to. And in this case, we need to, especially for Almon. Because Fireball, owie, owie. I'm just gonna, we'll see. This thing's gonna last for 2 more turns. And that won't finish him off though. Okay, so then I will do a straight up jab and finish him off. Or at least let the fire finish him off after. Then we'll throw on no, wrong thing. Another Innervating Mist, like so. And auto heal. Alright. This happens. He's gonna prepare his attack. He dies. And now we can kind of relax a little bit. Just aim for the volley shotter, and let's just make things go by quick. I'll do a quick, where is it? Guardian Song. Then Almon, use Soul Shot! Kaboom! For justice. Wachacha! Ow! I think that was nice. Alright, easy. Yeah, Quake First will definitely be the best option here. So there's the heal. Either restore. And might as well. Now please crit. Dang it. Only got the 450. Incoming! Ow! Okay then. Calibretto throwing another Innervating Mist, as rinse and repeat. Almon, you can finish him off. And then Gully, you just work on getting this guy's HP down a little bit. Little by little. Ow. Alright. But no, I meant to actually do the other thing. Oops. Well then, this is awkward. I'll just do... Actually, do I really need that much? Well, it does convert it to damage shield, so that can be helpful. Ba-bang! Great. Oh, look at that, now we've got full burst meter. What are the odds of that? Alright, this time, since he's gonna be doing the healing anyway, might as well... Actually, no. I'm gonna save that. I will save a little bit of that. And I'll just go for a wildfire shot. Heal. Alright, Gully. I will have you do a... Let's cripple him a bit. No, not cripple. Shatter. There we go. That's what I'm going for. Kill your regular defense. Fire, 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 fire! Perfect-ento. And then I will do a shadow wall. So I'll be ready. Please don't take attack immediately. Dang it! So we can hold off on that. Well now, Calbro deal the final blow here. Bang! And now it's on back to him. And now we got first meter. We can do one of two things. Either you can keep doing the gravity punch trick, as we've been doing, or just go to your burst and do Might of Aramus, which deals 12,000 HP. Personally, I'd probably save that for when we get to lower HP, when gravity punch won't be doing as much, so I'll hold off on that then. Yeah, but yeah, basically from that point, it's pretty much just rinse and repeat here. You just do a gravity punch, you do deal with it. Well, there are a few extra things you can do, and I'll show those off real quick, I guess. Alright, so we'll do another quick gravity punch. Alright, Alamon. You'll have enough to do another devastation wave. But also, Calbro's case, when you get the opportunity, use a freaking cannon blast. Get this guy with an extra fire damage on him. Because this can be very helpful, it really could be. So do that. Gully can do heroism once more. Fire that little extra burst. Cha-ching. Let Alamon do some... I mean... I don't know if I'll interrupt the actions of those things, so maybe I'll just do some defense. Go on heroism once again. And yeah, just from that, the battle will end constantly, repeat until things go your way. In our case, it might be a bit risky. Calbro might die. I'm not gonna be happy about it if it happens. But if it does happen, well, that's another reason to have Calbro and Almon on team, because they both can revive each other. They can easily revive each other at any point with Avatar of Darkness or Reincarnate, respectively. So, that's basically it, and now you guys are ready. So from here on out, we say we do some fast forwarding, or maybe just outright skipping, depending on if we die in this battle, because I don't want to show that embarrassing stuff. But either way, it's time for Chaos Control! like that, we're done! Huh. That actually went much smoother than my practice did. Go figure. And where are we at now? About roughly 28 minutes. And considering the explanation will take me the entire 20 minutes, that means I was only, just off-screen, focusing for 8 minutes. But that's how you beat Bhargus, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed that episode. This will definitely be part 1 of the entire session. But with that said, we got the 546 EXP and all this cool stuff. So with that said, even though this is kind of uncharacteristic of me, I'll see you guys for part 2 of this session, i.e. in a couple of hours. Hope you enjoyed. See you guys in a quick second. Soon. Maybe. I don't know. Just, let's go.